If you'd like to know what you're watching, click here. And as always, link to the blog post in the description. Just a little bit of an update for you guys. We got to change the scenery because I was able to climb the stairs again in my house and sit at my desk. So back in 1996, what I consider to be probably the greatest video game of all time was introduced in America. It was called Super Mario RPG: The Legend of the Seven Stars. Kind of a mashup of Final Fantasy and Super Mario Brothers. It's an absolutely brilliant game. It's got amazing characters. The graphics are out of this world for 16-bit. But anyway, basically the plot is Bowser's kidnapped the princess again, and Mario goes to save her. Mario defeats Bowser, but then everybody gets kicked out of Bowser's castle by this giant sword that falls through the castle. All of these other guys are all over Mushroom Kingdom, and they're these bosses. They're called Smithy's gang. Smithy has taken pieces of Star Road, which is where wishes are granted, so they have to collect all the star pieces back and put it back together so that wishes can be granted. Until then, there are no more wishes. So they go through the whole thing and they defeat all these wacky bosses, and it's hilarious. There's that Mario humor that's kind of like, they know they're in a video game, and there's even like a shout out to Final Fantasy, because if you knock on this door, then you go get to fight this guy called Culex, who's like a throwback from every Final Fantasy game ever. You get to the end, you're fighting Smithy, and he pretty much refuses to give back his piece of the star because he wants to keep all the stars for himself so that there are no more wishes, and he wants to fill the world with weapons. They've made this factory where all they make are clones of all the bosses, their weapons. He says to them, why don't you give me your star pieces, because then I could conquer the world and we would have a world without wishes and it would be a world full of weapons. I think that we like video games like Super Mario RPG because they give us a glimpse of a world that's not full of weapons, where it's possible for things to happen right and for wishes to come true. We want to believe that that kind of thing is possible and that we don't have to live in a world full of weapons. It's my hope that these aren't just pipe dreams. Mario joke, get it? Pipe. And that we can live in a world where we're not dependent on making weapons, and that we can have wishes where people won't be so cynical about saying, well, you can't have that wish granted. You know, you can never do that, or you can never be that. It sounds kind of hippie and love everybody, but what if we lived in the type of world where people didn't automatically think that about wishes? As always, I welcome your comments. If you have any suggestions for things that you'd like to see me talk about, some things that have happened in the news or something that's on your mind, leave them in the comments or on my Facebook or on the blog. Maybe I'll do a video on it. See you tomorrow.